Hello, welcome to Fanversation. I am Yael Tygiel. I'm joined by the one and only Sergio Osuna. Hello, Sergio.
Hello. Yeah, how's it going?
Oh, so good. I'm so excited to talk to you about Slumberland. This is a new Netflix movie that is coming out this weekend, tomorrow. It's coming out
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Wow. Um, let's talk about this movie. Let's take it to the beginning. This movie, a lot of people have been seeing posters. We've got Jason Momoa and Marlo Barkley. Sergio, you are in this movie. Can you tell us who you play in this movie?
I play the manager of the first is like the introduction of Slumberland, this world. Um I played the first person that they interact with or Marlo interacts with. And my character, I mean, I'm Mexican, but my character speaks Spanish, and there's like a funny little thing there because there's I don't think Marlo speaks Spanish or Nemo doesn't speak Spanish, and then uh, uh, Flip, Jason's character, does speak Spanish in it, and he did a pretty good job. But yeah, I played the manager of this Cuban sort of hotel and event space. And yeah, we're getting ready for one specific event. Yeah.
Amazing. Tell me about hearing about this project. Tell me about what excited you and what did your character breakdown sound like?
Oh, funny you mentioned. Um, well, the first original audition was in 2020. This was so long ago. That was like
Oh,
deep in
wow.
COVID. Yeah. If I can pull it up here, um, this was in. You can still see me, right?
Yes, you haven't gone
Yeah.
anywhere.
This was in September 8th of 2020. So, and I
Like
remember
the
this
deep
vividly.
in
Deep,
pandemic.
exactly, yes. And the funny thing about not funny, but the interesting thing about this is that it wasn't like a self-tape thing because now everything's self-tape. This was a Zoom audition, which I kind of prefer because it's somewhat live and you get like feedback right away. But you mentioned the breakdown of it.
Yes.
Um, and let me tell you what the breakdown was. And I was excited
For
about it
for
just
people
because
who
it's,
don't
yeah.
know what a breakdown
Oh yeah.
is, what is a breakdown?
The breakdown of the character description, it sort of like
Okay.
tells you when you get an audition invite, it says everything, all the information that you have for the project, the casting director, the writers, the producers, and everything. And then it gives you also your character's name and then the character description, age bracket, what if it's essential, what they're supposed to look like, if it's essential to the story as well, the ethnicity of the character, the background, and then a little bit of what the character sort of does in the movie or in the
Mhm.
project. And then you get the sides, which are the two scenes or the three or whatever scenes that they want you to perform and prepare. And sometimes, depending on the project, they give you the full script. In this case, they didn't. They just gave me like the scenes.
Okay.
Um, so let me tell you what the breakdown is, the character description. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pull it up, and it says, and I know that my agent at the time was like, maybe they thought that it was, going to be offensive or something. But I'm like, what? I'm not offended. I'll go for it. It's a good show.
Okay.
Um, this is 40 to 60 years old. So let's start right there. Let's start right there. At the time, I was like, okay, let me go buy some face cream. I guess I'm not like moisturizing enough. 40 to 60 years old, male, Latino, very short and very intense. And I don't think I'm short. I'm 5'11". I don't think I'm
Right.
short.
You're not
Yeah,
short.
which is fine. I mean, I don't um yeah. So
Okay.
and for some reason I thought that it did say some other stuff, but no, this is the character description. And I think my agent, like I said at the time, was like, I know this isn't your look or whatever, but
Right.
I submitted you and they want to see you. So yeah. So yeah, yeah, maybe I
So
was the yeah, go
you
ahead.
fit one part of the description?
Two,
Two.
male and Latino.
Male,
Yeah,
Latino. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Did
yeah.
it
But it
requ
was
did
fun.
it say that the character spoke Spanish or just that they were Latino?
They spoke Spanish, and the sides were in Spanish. Like the
Okay.
the the scenes were in Spanish. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cause that's wow. All right. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you look great for 60.
Thank you.
You're
That's what I
welcome.
get most of the time. Yeah. Thank you. A lot of a
um
lot of keels.
I love that. So okay, so then here's the really important question. Your character has a pencil mustache.
Mhm.
Obviously that was not in the breakdown. Did you choose the pencil mustache? Did you grow the pencil mustache, or was that a costuming choice?
Excellent question.
Thank you.
Hard-hitting question. Well, I another thing that should have been in the breakdown is the fact that can grow his own mustache because I can't. Like this is I think maybe a week's worth, and it would take like if I got cast in 2020 right now and we shoot it tomorrow, I
Sure.
still would look like this. I cannot grow a mustache. And there were conversations. I think there were a couple of options for mustache or mustache options, and that's what we went with. Um, uh, yeah, I think that they went with like the little like pencil mustache. I think it's funnier, and
I agree.
yeah, because a thicker one would have been a little bit, Burt Reynolds kind of situation. It would have been a bit too aggressive, and this one was a little bit more um, dainty or like delicate and more um, uh, manager like. I
Sure.
guess. Yeah,
It's this isn't your first time with a fake mustache because you
doesn't.
played Dolly
Yeah.
on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes. Yes. So I have quite the put it in my special skills. I had quite the experience with mustaches.
And none
Um,
of them are growing from your face.
no, I wish. Do you know if there's a way that I could grow a mustache? Like, if there's
I have
something I
no
can put on
idea.
my face? Because I put a
I
lot
don't
of stuff
know.
on my face.
I
I
spend a
just,
lot of money removing my mustache, so I do not know.
I know. I'm, if there's anybody out there, just DM me. Please tell me anything that I can put on my face. I don't want to take anything. I just want to
Mm,
put something on my face and just grows like a chia pet.
sure. Yeah, if you're in the live chat, let us know. Strong Girl
Mhm.
Army's in the live chat. She says, thank you for taking the time for us, Sergio.
Of
Um,
course.
and that you're right for the role because you're an acting chameleon. Oh,
Ooh,
loving
another
this.
chameleon that can't grow a mustache though, but a chameleon nonetheless.
Yes. So going in that the entire role was in Spanish.
Yes. Yes.
Um, and without revealing anything, your character, all I'm going to say is your character uh is in the similar location as I think one of the most underrated up and coming Canadian actors, Humberly Gonzalez, who plays Graciela in this. Did you get to interact with her at all?
She was on set, that she didn't I don't think she was shooting that day, but she had rehearsals that day.
Okay.
Um, and she was on set, but she was busy rehearsing and everything. And a thing about Umberly is that I was on hold to for another TV show. I think Debris. It's now, I think it's
Mhm.
been canceled. I was on
Yes.
hold or shortlisted or whatever for one specific character. I didn't end up booking it. A friend of mine did, and then when I saw the breakdown for that one, she booked it, and I would have played, I think, her brother-in-law or something in that specific. So I wish I had time to, when we were shooting Slumberland, to tell her that kind of story, because that's like a, I mean, she's amazing and she's killing it and she's insane and she's so nice. I just didn't get a chance to interact with her that much because she was busy rehearsing her part, and which is a really cool. I mean, she
Yes.
got yeah, yeah, a really
Um,
cool one.
yeah, your character felt very isolated to me,
Mhm.
in that he only interacts with two people that we see. Well, three if you want to count Nemo, and I don't because she doesn't say anything. Um, but one is Jason Momoa. You were telling me that he's just so playful, and honestly, you can see it. Like you can absolutely see how playful he was in this role.
Yes.
Just having the best time. I have to ask about, because we've talked about your mustache. I have to ask about his ears, because watching it, they move. Did he have physical, like fake ears on, or mechanical ears, or were they not there at all and added later?
I can't remember. I think they were there. Um, it was his makeup and prosthetics and everything were a lot. Like he's wearing a lot, and he honestly, like you mentioned, his energy is completely playful and open, and it's I feel like it's a lot of um not to sound too actory, but it's a lot of like it felt like improv. It felt like yes,
Hmm.
and he always says yes to things, comes up with different things. His energy is completely like a kid, like a big kid, and he's always willing to play and help and it was such a great experience. And to speak of the makeup and prosthetics and everything,
Yeah.
um never did it seem like he made it a part of himself and a part of the character, and it seemed organic. So maybe that's why I didn't notice the ears, because it was just a part of him.
Right.
um and yeah, yeah, it was just he was amazing,
I
amazing.
mean, it wasn't until like later scenes that I even noticed that they
They
moved and that
moved,
they were
yeah,
there,
right,
because it does feel like part of him. It took me a while to realize that all the hair isn't his. I was like,
right.
wait a second, that's not all his hair. That's more hair than he has. Um,
More, yeah, I
yeah.
mean, he's got a lot of hair, like great, gorgeous, can I have your hair, secrets, not your hair secrets. But yeah, I think they added on more. Yeah.
Right. Did you get to touch the horns? Do you know what they feel like?
I did not.
You are missing
Um,
opportunities left and right, Sergio.
I just don't know what I can ask, like, yeah, and even the question, "Can I touch your horn?" It's a little bit, I don't know, with chess
I
match.
guess I guess if I were him, I would be like, "You wanna touch my horn?" to everyone
Oh,
in case they
yeah,
wanted to, you know?
yeah, break the ice,
Um,
yeah.
right? Talk to me about, Marlo, because, she's in the scene with you, but she does not interact so much. How was she? Because she's a young girl, essentially, aside from Jason, is carrying this film. How was she?
Yes. Incredible. She's again so open and so present, and felt like you know she's been doing this for like 20 plus years. I've worked with other people, older people, and there's some sort of wall between the art and not her. She's completely open, and I think it speaks to her professionalism and her natural given talent. Like it's insane. And then between takes, I remember we started doing like I don't know. She has this. Or at the time she had these kind of like, I don't know what you call these. It's like a game that you do with your hands, like a rhythm sort of thing.
Sure, sure,
Just way,
sure.
yeah. I don't know
Like
what
a
you call
patty
those.
cake type of thing.
Sorta, yeah. Um, um, I wasn't good. She was great at it. And yeah, she was, yeah, she's amazing. She's so good. She's so nice. So, um, her mom is also very nice. She was on set. Yeah, so good, so nice.
You keep I, every time I see you, you're in a fantasy or a sci-fi
Mm.
property. Why do you seem to be so attracted to these genres?
My face? No, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. I think that it's a big part of it, and I learned this when I moved here to Vancouver. A big part is the industry here. There's a lot of sci-fi. There's a lot of fantasy things being shot here. Even though we shot this in Toronto, but yeah, there's a lot of that in here, and I just leaned into it. And at the beginning, to be honest with you, I was a little bit apprehensive to do all these projects, just because I don't know, when you go to acting school, it's about the realism and the real stories
Mhm.
and whatever. And it's true. But at the same time, sci-fi and fantasy sort of gives you the ability to become that kid that, has left my body a long time ago. Maybe be back to that imagination that we lose because of how the world works and become jaded. And yeah, so I've embraced that a little bit more. Yeah, not to say that I don't want to do more dramatic or realistic things.
Sure, but I feel like one of the great things about sci-fi and fantasy is how they're stemming from reality, right? Like it's all based in a real thing.
Exactly.
The idea that we sleep and we dream and our dreams are wild and vivid and exciting and sometimes mean different things, and children might mean one thing or another in the story. It's just that's reality. Although we're seeing this fantastical land where
Yes.
beautiful things happen, butterflies
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah.
it's still based on the fact that the story is about grief and loss and family, and those are real.
Exactly. And specifically, the story is based on something very real and very painful and very
Mhm.
that everybody goes through and everybody can relate to, but told in a very sort of, yeah, fantastical, beautiful way that also everybody can relate to, not only adults, but children and the entire family. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, as soon as I finished watching it, I said, "This is a movie that if I were younger, I would have been obsessed with." This is this next generation's Labyrinth, the never-ending story,
Oh,
that
nice.
kind of, yeah, like I cried. I told you I cried multiple times watching this movie.
Oh, that makes me happy. Not that you cried, but that you cried, if it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, yes, I agree. I agree with you. It's such a beautiful story. Um, and the way that is being told, like I said, and the special effects in it too. Um, but yeah, they're
You
incredible. When
talk
I
to me
saw
about this building that you're in. What was there and what wasn't? Is this the Fairmont?
uh I think it is
No.
the York?
The
The
York Fairmont? I've been
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. That's where we shot that one specifically. I mean, the images you see right now, it was completely is not like that. All the butterflies and everything, they were CGI'd.
You mean they
Also,
didn't bring thousands of butterflies and glue them to
no,
the wall?
no, hard to say yes. Because I think that it would be difficult to direct every single butterfly. I mean,
Sure,
the
sure, sure.
logistics of it would be a nightmare. But yeah, that yeah, but without the CGI, it was also the set deck was amazing as well because they had to recreate a Cuban um, hall from back in the day, and yeah, they did a beautiful job. But I think that every single thing, the post production aspect of it, the CGI and everything was top notch. It was insane, and I'm like you said, I'm very excited that everybody can watch this, little kids and adults as well. And um, I'm just very excited for my nephews and my niece to watch it because I don't think
Yeah.
they've seen a lot of stuff that I've been a part of.
What, they haven't seen The Magicians? How old are they?
That they're the oldest, I think, is like 11.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
gonna love The Magicians.
they will eventually, but yeah, I remember that my Mexican nephew. I remember that I did an episode of Supernatural,
Mhm.
um, and then in which I die. Spoiler alert: I die. And then and I was very ecstatic because that was the last thing that I'd done. And so I went back home to Mexico and I showed him that, not thinking. And at the time, I think he was like 6 or something, not thinking that it might have been a bit scarring for him. So I'm like, with my iPad showing him like, look. And then he looked at it, he watched it, and then a moment of silence after he gets up and he leaves. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's rude. Um, and then eventually, when I showed him something, oh, I'm doing this other thing, and he's like, do you die in it too? And I'm like, no, I don't. Okay, okay, I'll watch it. Not thinking that I probably scarred the poor guy for like the years to come, that he realizes
Whatever.
the people dying. but this
This is
one,
when he
like,
understood how TV and movies work.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
but then this one, this film
Mhm.
deals with also grief. See, circling back,
Yeah,
with grief and loss, and but it's told in a very much um digestible way. I think it's the right way, like, much more appropriate for kids to deal with. Yeah.
absolutely. Um, I want to ask about another character. We have Agent Green. Um, Tell me about. I'm not familiar with this actor's work, so tell me about
Oh,
them.
I love her work. Um, I was obsessed with the TV show, HBO Max show, I May Destroy You. I think she was a
Mm,
part. Such a brilliant show, and she was a part of it. She was such a good part of it. Oh, she's beautiful. She's a great actor. And when I learned that she was going to be also in Slumberland, when we did the table read, I was like very excited. She's the nicest person, the brightest person, and um, also her whole outfit and character was just amazing. I loved it, and in person was better than like watching it on screen. Um, yeah, the power that she has, the command of the scene and the command of the stage and the screen is unbelievable. She's just a very powerful actor. I love her.
tell me about the table read. What is that like, especially for something that's so visually like expansive?
Right. Um, it's for this specific project, it was beautifully written, so the descriptions were very accurate and very
Oh,
vivid. So it's sort of whoever was reading the stage directions was just needed to read the stage directions and did not nothing needed to be added to that. And because it was like during COVID and everybody was in different places.
was it
Uh,
Zoom? It was a Zoom table read?
yeah, it was a Zoom table read. Um, and it was great because it was the first time that everybody got to, get together and see and hear the voices of the characters, and it flew by, and the flow of it was impeccable, was great. And yeah, a great experience. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. Are there any stories that I have not asked about that you wanted to share? Because I feel like you and I have been talking about this for days, and I don't recall what has been said on air yet and what has not, and what you can't say and what you can say. So I'll leave it to you and see
Um,
if there's something I'm missing.
of the whole filming and things.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that it felt like my character was isolated. You're right in that sense, but it's also funny that we shot it, or my part was shot in April of 2021. So it was also during COVID. And
Right.
the one thing that I'd say is the Netflix, the COVID restrictions and protocols were unbelievable and amazing. Everything felt extremely safe, and I was isolated for a few days in a hotel room. So maybe that, you know, added to the isolation of the character as well. Um, but yeah, the whole experience was an amazing experience, and the also the costumes. I had several, and I'll share something tomorrow on social media about the costume fitting process. It was a lengthy one, but it was such a great experience. It was tailored to me, and there are a lot of conversations about like where the applique was going to be and the fabric and everything. I did feel like I couldn't like gain weight or lose weight or anything because it was like literally tailored to me, but it was beautiful. Just everything was amazing. Yeah.
Did you steal the costume?
I did not.
It fits you.
I
It
know
only fits
it
you.
only fits me. I did not. I think I thought about it. Not like the horns. The horn thing that you mentioned. Can I touch your horns? Never crossed my mind.
Really?
But yeah, but the costume part, um, yeah, I thought maybe I could. Maybe I can ask. But one, I think I forgot, and two, I don't know if I would have got the balls to do it or the guts to do it. I don't know if you're gonna say balls. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so before we wrap this up, I want to know, in this film, in Slumberland, we introduce the concept of the double knock, which is the outlaw code. And I want to know, if you were to double knock and invoke the outlaw code, when would it be and what for?
Ooh. Um. Interesting. Can I ask you that first, and you can tell me your? Do you
Sure.
have an answer? Yeah.
I do not have an answer. I have realized that I do this thing where I ask a very clever, creative question based on something from a movie and never have an answer prepared for myself, which is a mistake, because a lot of times the talent will go, well, why don't I
Really?
ask you first so that they can buy them time? And I messed up and never thought it through. I just was like, what an interesting concept. I love the idea, but I have
But
no idea what I'd use it for.
I don't think I know what I would use it for either.
But I'm going to hold on to it. And I
Yes.
can't wait till one day I use it and people go, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, Slumberland. They're like, oh, yeah.
I don't know what I would use it for either. That's such a good question. Um, yeah. So you don't have an answer for it.
Nope. I really should think of one, though.
Mm, mm, mm. Um, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
You
thinking that.
hold on to it. Everyone, when you watch Slumberland, you hold on to the outlaw code double knock and you keep it in
Yes.
your pocket for when you
Keep it in
need
your
it.
pocket. Exactly. For a rainy day.
Sergio, thank you so much for chatting with me about Slumberland. As a reminder to anyone watching, Slumberland comes out tomorrow on Netflix in the US, and I cannot speak to anywhere else.
I'm pretty sure everywhere else. I mean, I'm telling everybody. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
hopefully everywhere
hopefully.
else as well. Sergio, where are you on the internet? And if people want to make sure that they catch whatever you're sharing tomorrow.
Oh, I'm everywhere, including TikTok, which is a challenge, but I'm also there. And I'm at Osuna with an S, at Osuna underscore Sergio, everywhere. Um, yeah, everywhere.
Amazing. I am Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That is YAELTYGIEL. You can find me on Sunday talking about Law and Order SVU, the greatest show of all time. And you can find me on Tuesdays on the Hollywood Critics Association channel. And I think that, you can find me on Sundays on the official Leverage Redemption After Show, a very distinctive podcast, which has just dropped season 2 on the Electric Now app. Okay, that's everything. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.